Okay.
Are we streaming?
We're starting.
We're starting?
Yes.
We're streaming?
Yes. Okay. This is called Two Really Experienced Developers Look Really Stupid.
Because we don't actually know how to make programs anymore, apparently.
Well, no, we don't know how to make websites. I don't know how to make websites.
I don't know how to make websites.
And you don't know how to make this website.
No. Well, I don't know how to make anything with JavaScript.
Right.
Do you?
In the back end.
Well, that's good, because I remember doing things with JavaScript on the front end.
Okay. Between us, we might be able to make a website. Okay. So,
wait.
First things first.
Yeah, open our beer.
Please display your beer. Yours is easy
Mine
to
is
open.
easy, yeah.
You have a fat orange cat, and I have the Great Cobra Scare of '53 from Springfield, Missouri.
Wait, is this a Fat Orange Cat or a Sweet Jane Blues?
I think Fat Orange Cat is the brewery.
Okay. Yes. Okay, this is a Fat Orange Cat Sweet Jane Blues, which is a milkshake-style New England India Pale Ale with vanilla extract and blueberries.
It's sufficiently weird that it should go with this project.
Cheers.
Yay. Okay, so we want to make a website.
We want to make a website.
Avdi has already done the first part of that.
I have an idea.
No, dude, you registered a domain name.
Yeah, of course I'm registered.
That's the first step in every
I can't proceed with an idea until I have a clever name for it.
And I can't proceed with an idea until I've made a drawing.
Ah.
So tell the camera what your app is going to do.
Okay, so periodically I want to ask people what are the best X's of Y? Like what are the best... Oh, the last one I did was like, what are the best current variants of Linux to throw on an old computer for a newbie to use? Like rehabilitate an old computer that's otherwise too slow to do anything. And like I want a poll, but I don't want a poll where I have to pre-populate the answers because I don't know the answers. But I also want to know like what things people prefer, and so I want, like, for years I've wanted a thing that I can be like, okay, where does everybody want to have lunch? And people can either put in ideas or they can like rank their top three of like what people already put in, or some combination of that. Just like, what is the best thing, or what are your top three things, and let's all like figure that out. And then in the end I have a nice list and I can just be like, okay, I'm going to use the best thing that other people think is the best, because I like what other people think are the best.
Yeah, and we wanted to like...
Because I try not to be precious.
Right. And they're probably right in aggregate.
They are. People are usually right in aggregate, at least like...
Not all the time, but
smart people
often.
Who care.
Yeah. So like, and then we wanted to have like other people's answers as suggestions, so you didn't have to type them again.
And Jess had an amazing idea for the UI of this.
Which was to have the answers kind of around in a word cloud, and you could drag them in instead of in a list, because the idea you were trying to make a top 3 list.
Right. I realized there's like a problem with this idea of like having any number of entries and people like ranking all of them. Like there really should just be like, here's a cloud of things, and then like drag in your top 3, which was totally your idea.
What are some variants of Linux?
Mint. And Lubuntu.
Lubuntu. Okay.
Yeah, it's like tiny Ubuntu. Wait, what's that stand for?
I don't know.
Little Ubuntu? Maybe. Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, okay, so we have an idea for an app, and you have a domain name.
Oh yes, imhotop.com.
Imho, like, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, in my humble opinion, and top is in,
top 3.
Top 3 humble opinions.
Okay, so we should be able to do this, right? And I know about Glitch, and I've used it like a tiny bit, okay? And
why are we using Glitch?
Oh, why are we using Glitch? Because it's like on the web and they run your app for you?
Yeah, because you can just like instantly get started instead of all that tedious effing about with version control.
Oh, yeah. Glitch does the version control. It does the hosting. It does a lot of things. So let's start.
And if there's one thing that's become more true as I've matured as a developer, it's my impatience.
No kidding. Okay, so we're going to cheat a little bit and use my glitch project. So, because a while back I started from like the React starter. And do I know React? No. Do I know Node? Yeah, a little. But I only do it in TypeScript.
Can you do TypeScript on glitch?
No.
Okay.
You could try. No. No, at some point I needed TypeScript, so but you can start on glitch and then copy it. You can like send it to GitHub. Glitch will send it to GitHub.
Yes.
Yeah. And it'll import from GitHub.
I think it like saves the like change sets automatically, and then you can start using it.
Well, I don't know if it just posts the code. I didn't look at the history.
I think it saves the history, and I think it might actually do it.
It could happen.
Under the
at some point I did
using
that.
Git.
But the other thing about glitch is that you start from anybody else's project.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can remix.
Yeah. So I used Jenn's React starter, but then I got really frustrated because the React starter didn't actually send a post to the server. It didn't actually make any effing API calls. Okay. It got like the server served
I've used the same
page.
thing. Yeah, I've used.
But it didn't make any, and it was fucking hard to get it to do a fucking API call. Okay, so I once I got it to do that, I saved that project as this React plus JSON post, React plus JSON post. So now we can use that as our starter.
Sweet.
And so it's just a little farther along. Okay, so now we have a glitch project, and we can. How do I remix it from here? Visible to everyone. That's good. How do I remix it? Oh, I bet there's a button right here. Remix on glitch. Ooh. Bam. You got to click the fish. Okay. Oh no. Like from within my app, I'm remixing it on glitch.
Really?
Look at that. I've got like glitch going, and then I've got glitch in this glitch frame.
I'm confused now. It's like mirrors within mirrors.
Maybe if I go back to my user. Yeah, look, there's the new one.
Oh.
That was weird.
Oh, okay. That was weird.
Okay. Jenn, if you're watching our video, that was weird.
That was weird.
Okay, but we got it. Now we have oil sturgeon here, and we can rename it. I think we can rename it. Imhotep.
Imhotep. You know, like the pharaoh.
You know, Imhotep. I can't type. Would you?
No typies.
Dude, it says I'm hot op. It's like I'm a hot operations person.
I may not have thought this all the way through.
Okay, that is an
working title?
Excellent start. Everything's got to start somewhere. Or my kids would be like, I'm hot, OP.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Wait, what is that word? Oh, home ownership. The word home ownership contains the word meow.
Oh, right, yeah.
And
home meow ownership.
Yeah, and you will now always see that.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, so apparently this is our project down here, but if we click edit project, then
was that like a thumbnail of it?
Yeah.
Clever.
Yeah, but it's a working thumbnail apparently, because you can even remix it from within the thumbnail, and then we were like, how does this okay, anyway. But now we're here, and you can see all the files in it.
Okay, what's a JSX file?
A JSX file is a React thing. So JSX is this little sub-language that, it's only that much for this bit, wherein you can write JavaScript that looks like HTML.
I don't understand why this file is JSX.
Because it contains this, so it actually, it has a preprocessor step.
Oh, because there's no quotes around it.
So this like hello world thing, this is a function or something.
Okay.
Well, I mean, this gets translated into, actually, I think it's probably a class, whatever. But this winds up being like a function. I don't know.
It's almost like HTML becomes a quoting character.
Yeah. It lets you write approximately HTML embedded within your JavaScript.
Without all the tedious mucking about.
Remember how we spent like. Yes. Okay. Yes. Let's have some interpolated HTML kind of stringy things.
Yeah.
Because I find it interesting.
So it's sort of like writing PHP.
Maybe.
Yeah, because like PHP it's all a preprocessor.
See, we've come around the circle, but in a better place because it's a spiral.
Yeah.
We used to like generate HTML on the server side and like construct strings into HTML and ship that back up. And then we were like, no, we should put JavaScript in our HTML. And that turned out terribly. And so now we're back to putting HTML in our JavaScript.
We still put JavaScript in our HTML.
We
usually put it in separate files.
Yeah, exactly. It's in separate files. It's not embedded. You technically can put on submit equals and you can like put literal JavaScript in your HTML, right?
Sometimes I do.
Drink for that.
By the way, I approve of this beer. I told you.
Did I try?
Milkshake style New England India Pale Ale sounds good.
I think I just drank some, but now I'm going to have some more.
These things are not mutually exclusive.
It is good. Did you try my Cobra Scare?
No.
There's some story in Springfield, Missouri about
the great Cobra Scare.
That somebody like shut down his pet store and let loose the cobras or something. And then there was like this big town. Everybody's got their guns out and they're shooting cobras. It was a thing, and they made a beer about it.
Ozark style ale. I don't know what kind of beer they brew.
It's good. Just trust me. This one's good.
It was more fun than facing a cobra.
Okay, right. So here so that was you were asking about JSS. Okay, but this project, this is a React project backed by Node, running Express.js as a web framework.
Okay, now where are the different parts? Okay, so I know that server.js, that's part of the Node side, right?
Okay, start with the package.json.
Okay.
Because any Node project, NPM really, is going to start with the package.json. And the important bits are, where's the main server.js. So that tells you where Node is going to start. So it's going to start up server.js. And then if we look at server.js, it's doing some things. Express is a web server, and this instantiates the web server. And then express.static says serve files from the public directory.
Okay.
Which we don't have at the moment. Okay, whatever. And this says fucking deal with JSON, okay? And this is that line that if you don't include that, just everything is fucked and you'll never figure out why until you Google it and it tells you to use this spell. So always use this spell. Just do it. Now we're saying, okay, at the root endpoint, which is imhotop, let's see, if we click this button, imhotop.glitch.me. That's going to serve send file app index.html, which is here. So now we've traced it through to the top level HTML file.
Okay.
And this one is including, this is a fish button, style.css. Is that even a thing? I don't see that. We might be missing that.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
Got some
I don't see it either. We're probably just missing it. Here, let's check that. Network tab, Command-Alt-I, so I've opened the developer tools. That's essential. Okay, network tab, refresh. And we see, oh no, it found style.css.
Magic?
Where is it? Huh. If there were a public directory, it would serve it from there. I don't know where. Mystery.
Yes. Okay, so traditionally as a developer, I would get completely hung up on the fact that I don't understand how this works.
That's more than one fact.
What?
You don't understand how style.css works, you mean?
No, I don't understand where
There's
it's
a lot of
from.
shit I don't understand where style.css is coming from.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Well, let's see. Hold on. First, we're going to try. No, it would be info.top.glitch.com, so it's not like it could get. Oh, let's see what's in it.
Okay. Because, I mean, the other thing is lately I've been feeling like maybe I should just keep a notebook of the things that confuse me so they don't stop me the way they used to.
Oh, right. Just put it in a list.
Just like.
Would you like. Show me more. I'm trying to, like, move. I'm bored by that. Could you, like, give me more information where it actually matters? Ugh. Tell me the F for fuck. Show me the goddamn name. Fuck.
Why won't that expand?
I don't know. Maybe if I go away and come back. Oh, fuck.
Why don't you understand how columns work?
Huh? Save all is hard. What the whatever. I know it said style.css
anyway,
earlier.
Wait.
Oh, shit. Look. Oh, look. I just made it look on a... Oh, that's neat.
That's cool.
That's a cool button. Not what I was looking for, but separate window. There we go.
Ooh.
Now I can make this window bigger.
It's still that column just doesn't like you.
Look at that. Look at that.
Can you hover over it to have it say no?
Yeah, it does give the name there.
Yeah.
Fuck. I know how big it is. I don't care how big it is. Anyway. All right, but over here, having picked the file, I think I can say the fuck did you was actually in it. Essay form. Okay.
Ooh.
Essay form comes from, so I like when I constructed this thing, I copied some shit in from various places, and that is one of the things I copied in, because see, here's the essay form.jsx. So, like, that CSS references stuff like this. Where the hell is it? Nope, still not in there. Still not in there. That's, look. Public is in the get ignore. Other than style.css.
But how do you see that stuff?
Where's the public directory? Glitch. I hit refresh. Ha ha!
Oh.
Okay, Jen, if you're watching this, that was fucked.
Why would I not want to see those?
See, look, I was like, well, what if it's not showing stuff that's in the get ignore? So I looked at the get ignore, and the get ignore specified to ignore public but don't ignore style.css. However, glitch didn't show us anything in public.
That's right. Wait, is that what that does? Is that what the bang does?
It says, yeah, accept this.
I'll accept this.
Yeah, the bang it's like a negative.
Oh my god.
Right? So, okay. So, yeah. See, that's where being an experienced developer helps you. Because I'm like, if I can't see files, sometimes tools don't show me files that are in the get ignore. Yeah. But the get ignore contains the output. And Jen, I did not want that. Glitch, knock it off. Knock it off. Don't do that.
I'm just wondering if there was like a display option here that says like show the things that are in get ignore or something.
Possibly.
That's why I tried to press this, but that just made the panel disappear.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time too. I want like the menu. If you click on the person, click on my face. Click on click on that. That's the menu that you're looking for.
Advanced options.
And you usually want advanced options. And that's where you import export to GitHub.
No, none of those things.
Right.
Oh, okay. What does this do? What does this do? Show?
Oh, that opens it in a tab. Yeah. We're just, you know what? It can save that shit. Okay. The reason it wasn't saving, the reason public was in get ignore was because of this bundle.js. See, that's compiled output. Let me tell you how that gets happening. In a minute.
Is that a Webpack thing?
So we were looking through index. Yes, it is a Webpack thing.
Ooh. I said a modern development word.
I know Webpack is scary, and I've been trying to avoid it, but I have not succeeded. See, there's the Webpack config, and that's going to happen. We get there from package.json. Package.json is the top level thing, and this says scripts, says how to do it. So build is usually that's like the standard how to do the thing, and start makes the app go. So build and start are conventions inside scripts. inside package.json. So if you know those facts, then you can trace this to Webpack. Webpack happens to be an executable here.
So start says do the web packing and then do the node server.
Yeah. Can I get a term?
Node server.
Logs. Console. Check this out. Glitch has a terminal. Look. Okay, so now... So this would be the other way to see public.
Oh!
Isn't that cool? The secret button is to push there is logs, and then you can push console. So here we can see node modules. And if we did which Webpack to find out what was going on there, we would find that it's in node modules.bin because this terminal is set up with node modules bin in its path. Okay, so we have succeeded at, and so once you follow that.
Apparently in the Ozarks, they like their beers kind of sour.
You're right, it does have a little bit of sour to it. No wonder I like it. Yeah. You might want to check in on that one because it's obscure because it's from Springfield, the breweries in Springfield, Missouri. Anyway, right, so now we know Webpack, and then you can Google Webpack and you can find out that Webpack works from the config.js, and here's its entry point. So now there's your app.jsx, there's your main. So Webpack is saying that that's your entry point. And here's your output, public bundle.js. And in your index, come here, bundle.js. Which happens to be the public directory, which happens to be served from root because of this spell here.
That was a beautiful trace.
Thank you. I spent a lot of time on that not long ago. Okay. So let's see, we were looking at index.js, and now we know about bundle. So there's nothing in here, right? There's this main. This is important, this main div. Why do we have a div with an ID of main instead of a main element? Because there's like a main element in HTML now.
Is there now?
There is. Why wouldn't it just be like main? That's a thing. In like, what do we call it? Scruggs was telling me about this a couple years ago that in the latest HTML5, I guess,
I know it has sections now.
There's semantic elements.
Yes. HTML.
Now I know if I do that, it's gonna fuck something up somewhere. So I'm gonna put it back to a div ID of main. But I'm surprised that we don't use the main elements because okay. So this is something I find fascinating.
I'm amused by this, like the MDN example of main has main role equals main. Sorry. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah. So Avdi is looking at MDN, which is a source of useful information on the web. Please avoid W3 schools.
Do not
it's annoying.
Click on W3.
God,
As a matter of fact,
it's so bad.
There's a Chrome plugin that you can just tell it to block certain sites from
so you can get W3 schools out of your Google results.
Erase W3 schools from your. It's an official Google plugin to like block certain search results.
Oh, okay.
Because it would, like I guess that
makes sense.
They would get flack if they actually just like blocked them.
Oh, but they made it easy for you to block them?
They really ought to just like invent new rules that would make it right for them to block.
If on the search results they had a fuck this shit button, that would be great. Oh, have I shown you? No, I did show you my wrong button. I won't show you again. Okay. There's a gif of that.
W3 schools is just a blatant cash grab.
Okay, having bitched about the interwebs, I know this is important that it has that name, so I'm not going to mess with it, but we'll try to look for where that's happening, and we'll see if we can see it. Right, so anything that actually shows up on this page is going to come out of this bundle.js, which came from the Webpack, which started in app.jsx. So now we're back to app.jsx. And now we see, get element by ID main.
So
if
I understand that part. Wait, I understand some of this.
So we could probably change it to a main element as long as we gave it the ID of main.
Yeah, probably.
And then React would still render the hello world into it.
Can we try that?
Yes, we can try it.
Well, first off, how do we know that main is being... Oh, no, wait. I want to do a thing. I want to do a falsify kind of thing here. so my theory here is like if I put something inside here, does it like not matter because we're overwriting it with the magic
I think
JSX
so.
stuff?
Yeah, React should like take it out.
Okay, so I'm gonna say
put
like
some garbage in there.
Oh, I don't have to save it, do I?
No, glitch auto saves. If you push save, it tells you, psst, glitch auto saves.
Which,
over and over
like,
and over.
save is so 1997.
So, was that like that before? Probably, because this is not a very good app. But see, I don't see. Can you see this?
Right, and I do see this code to parse thing. Which is that's.
Sorry, it's so ugly.
But that's inserted by the JSX magic, right?
I'm a little better at CSS than I was when I made this, but not much. Yeah, this is all coming from the JSX. All of it.
Okay.
Oh, let's prove that.
Yes. Break something.
Let's break something. So if we go to server.no app. The entry point here, we take that out. Reload.
Yes!
Ah!
Okay, falsification. I love this.
Okay, great.
We now know what it looks like when it's broken.
Yeah. Break it successfully. Okay.
Always make sure you know what it looks like when it's broken.
Also, if we turn this into... Oh, yeah, true. Because if you can break it on purpose, then you can fix it on purpose.
Yes.
If we turn this into, like, main X or something, then we can see this because React isn't finding it. And then our other theory was that if we change this to main, it still works. So we can declare it as the main element, which is useful for styling.
So it's just, we're just finding...
Because one thing I love about modern web development is, I find this kind of fascinating, the way we try to make the HTML, we try to make the document structure communicative.
Yes.
It's the same kind of thing of like REST and XML and then JSON. There's benefits to having your intermediate steps human readable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, this is why HTTP was such a wonderful thing.
Yeah, you said that the other day.
Yeah. I mean, you could actually read, you could telnet to a server and you could manually type in get HTTP get commands and have it work. So
now you can see body, main, div. God, I love this inspector so much. And then all our bits in there. Yeah, because Jen's starter app like listed dependencies like this, but it listed them hard-coded. And I made it have an endpoint that fetches the dependencies from the back end.
Nice.
I think. Well, I did. Whether it's in this app is another question. Right. Oh, and check this out. Ah, shit, we're not in Chrome. Why are we not in Chrome? Always develop. Oh, look, it looks better in Chrome.
Oh, look at that.
Always develop in Chrome. and then if you actually care about other people, test it in the other browsers, I guess.
Yeah, I was just looking at what is it, a browser stack, which is like testing lots of different browsers.
Look, I'm in Chrome now.
Oh, hey, look at that. What a novel idea, being able to resize columns.
So that was my problem. The problem there was I was in Firefox, which I use Firefox as a standard browser, but for development, I always use Chrome. Okay, one of the reasons to use Chrome is because this is a plugin. There's this React plugin, Hello World, which corresponds directly to the JSX.
The JSX magical component thingy.
Yeah, and it shows you, let's find one with some props. That's not one of them. Where's the React component? Here, essay form. It shows you the props, or, well, apparently, the props in the state of the component. Like, and, okay, well, we'll see that.
See, I don't know what a prop is yet.
Right. Okay. This is kind of fun. I actually have like a tiny bit of knowledge about this. I feel useful. I've just acquired this over the last couple of weekends. With much pain. So we got as far as we were in app.js because index.js has the main, which bundle.js puts shit in here, and well, bundle.js was referenced in Webpack config, which references us to app.jsx, which gets us here, which gets us to this react.render top level component.
Hip bone connects to thigh bone connects to,
right? I mean, knowing that connection is...
It's important.
It is.
And there is something to be said for frameworks where you can actually trace those.
Oh, I can't command click into that. Hey, Jen, if you're watching this, can you make command click, like, go into the other file?
I feel like that's like a slightly higher bar than some of the other stuff that we've asked for so far. just understand the semantic.
Can you also be a full
ID, you know?
Yeah.
Just be a small talk browser while we're at it.
Ooh. That'd be cool. Okay. Meanwhile, hello world. Okay. And this I copied from this is from Jen's starter. And it looks like she is okay, yeah. So here's the hard-coded list of dependencies, which I think we can delete. Because so hello world extends react.component. And I don't know this. There's like multiple versions of React, and there's like different ways to do it, and you're supposed to do it differently. And my friend Amy was helping with some of that because she knows some of that. But this is one of them.
Is it fair to call this a component?
Look, it says component right there.
Awesome.
What do you mean by?
Well, so there's this idea of component that's existed for like decades, but it's like the reverse of component is you have your HTML and you have separate behavior that's just separate from it. That's like you inject JavaScript onto the page or whatever, and or on the back end your behavior is just totally separate from your components or your HTML. Whereas the component idea is somehow you bundle up your behavior and the display of it in one place, and now you can sort of inject that thing into multiple positions in multiple pages, and somehow they will track their own state. They will like stay connected to the right pieces of data. And this is a thing in Java, and this was a thing on like desktop UI frameworks, and like now there's now like in development, or maybe it's official now, like an HTML component specification where you can actually have like invent new tags which bundle up display and behavior. But lots of things have tried to do that without like official support for years.
So you're talking about modularity in the sense that's intuitive to humans, which is this real estate on the screen is independent?
Yeah, kind of. It's like, this thing has it in some way, like the both the display of it, the semantics, formatting, and the code behind it, like the actual behavior associated with it, are all co-located in some way.
This is as close as I've ever seen.
Sweet. I'm a fan of components. I've liked the component frameworks that I've worked with.
Yeah, I don't think they can be really independent. So one thing I don't like about this is that it uses state at all. And as someone who has developed in Elm, I hear that Redux is kind of the Elmy thing in React, but I haven't had to use it yet. But in my opinion, you should never, this should never like be, I don't like grouping like the back end fetchiness inside the UI really, and I don't like it managing its own state. I want all state to come down from on high from the central app, because that's the only way you get synchronization.
So you kind of want like a whole page state that gets iterated forwards. Yeah.
A whole page state that iterates as a unit and then flows down into the pieces of the page. Because one thing I learned from Elm is that the part where this 2 inches by 3 inches piece of the screen is independent is bullshit.
Right.
Because the number one thing you want is consistency. Gmail, fuck you. Either I have 3 new emails in this category or I don't.
Right. Well, I mean,
and I have to push refresh to get it to be consistent in that.
I mean, the idea, like classical component breakdown would have, in client-side code would have data binding. So like every component should be bound to the same data model. And so, yes, you should have that consistency of three emails shown everywhere because it's data bound.
And with GraphQL, you can do that. The component can declare what data it needs, and the top-level page can sum those. or union them, really.
Yeah.
Pass that to the back end, get the answer back, and filter it down through the page.
So it can sort of like request all the bits that it needs at once.
Yeah, and the components can declare what bits they need.
That makes sense.
Yes, which is beautiful. So
still kind of iffy on GraphQL, but
GraphQL is amazing. It's correct.
But it's I don't know.
We don't have to do it yet here.
Okay. Okay, the thing that bugs me, like, I feel like we should probably table this, but the thing that has always bugged me about GraphQL is it seems like one of those things that tries to be really granular. Like you should, like, it tries to treat the back end like a database that you can do any query you want against. And that is totally against the RESTful idea of coarse-grained requests where you don't let the client side dictate every fiddly little select that you can do against the back end. You say, no, these are the requests you can make. If you need a new request, we talk about it. But you don't just decide, oh, I need a new query against the back end to get this special thing, because because you might as well just say, you know what, here, have the database connection. You know, we don't even need a back end.
You know what I say to that?
What?
Wake up. Nap's over. Client gets to declare what it wants. Now, you can make the client, and like the GitHub GraphQL API is really good about this, page. You can be like, I limit the amount you can ask for. And then, so one of the things about GraphQL is the GraphQL query comes into the GraphQL server. The GraphQL server can divvy it up into whatever REST queries or database calls or whatever, or say, yeah, I'm not going to give you that. And then you get into subscriptions where you don't have to get it all at once. If it's a subscription, the backend can provide data as it comes in, so it doesn't have to really be all one query.
I feel like we just like slap a generic thing on top of Postgres at that point.
Oh, you can, or in our case, Neo, which is even more natural.
Yeah.
And you can also, people put servers just in front of their REST calls. But GraphQL lets the client say, I need this data in this arrangement.
Oh, it can sort of submit a template for the...
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And so you never pass more data than it needs.
It's another sort of impedance matching layer then.
Oh, totally.
Okay.
Totally.
That's all we ever do is just add impedance
GitHub has
matching
some
layers.
really clever stuff with rate limiting. Or is it GitHub? Maybe it was somewhere else. But you can get clever stuff with rate limiting where you're only allowed to request so many things and the depth goes this far. And so you still, as a client, have to think about how much data am I requesting. And you have to deal with paging. If it's a query and stuff like that, it's a little better as a subscription. But you don't get willy-nilly, and you still have to think about it, which is good.
It seems like supporting GraphQL would be a giant pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was the thing.
It's called customer service. It's a giant pain in the ass. And it's easier to lay down and take a rest.
Oh, I get your wake-up thing now. Oh, clever.
Okay, all right.
Take some of your beer now.
Having bitched about GraphQL, I'm not doing any of that here. This is just the actual component is being like, I am unaware of the rest of the app, and I am independent, and I'm going to do my own business. Which is fine in this pathetic little app. And it's actually making a fetch. So it's this is something I learned about recently. Fetch is built into the browser. Because I went through a lot of...
What now?
Yeah. It's fucking built in.
What now?
Yeah. Because I went through a couple different front-end frameworks to do a get call because I thought I needed like a library for that. And it turns out that browsers just have this fetch function now.
Did we finally replace get XML HTTP?
Yes. Well, we at least wrapped it.
Articulated Tronica?
Yes. That you can actually do a fetch like natively from the browsers that I care about.
All right, I'm gonna search for fetch on MDN just because I want the satisfaction.
You'll be happy with that.
Okay, wait a minute. No, that's fetch API.
Yeah, because I was like trying to get Axios in here, and then you've got to deal with like require.js,
fetch API.
which gets into you have to have Webpack. Just deal with it.
The Fetch API provides an interface for fetching resources, including across the network. Oh, that's an interesting way of putting it. Don't the beer. It will seem familiar to anyone who has used XML HTTP request, but the new API provides a more powerful and flexible feature set. I feel really old right now. Back in my day.
Right. This was not so easy to just make a server call.
We had to trudge up the XML request.
And then we built libraries for it, and then we had to require
Butt naked in the snow.
And get the ordering right and import your... Anyway.
Uphill. Both ways. That's wonderful.
Without all-wheel drive.
They gave it the right name.
Isn't that lovely?
Fetch. It's perfect.
Okay. Yeah. So you fetch it, and you get a promise, and then you get this JSON out, and then you do shit with it.
Sweet.
Yeah. Here is the data. We probably found that on the console. Where's our console?
Ooh, and then we've got a set state.
Here is the data. Yeah, and set state, which I don't really... Where'd it go? Okay. Yeah, so then we set the state on the React component, which I don't approve of, by the way. Mm-hmm. But that's okay. It's whatever. Here, it doesn't matter. And so we just set this deps object. So instead of using that hard-coded array, it gets set here. And then every time you set the state, something, React calls render.
Right.
And render returns the view.
My understanding is that the whole magic of React is that it figures out exactly what changed and what needs to diff in the HTML based on the data change.
Right. And so it does some sort of minimal updates to the real DOM based on what you changed, which is all returned
instead of all
here.
The tedious mucking about with jQuery that we used to do. Yes, I'm old.
I know. I kind of missed the whole jQuery era. I mostly missed it.
A whole lot of.
I went straight from HTML
missed it
tables.
as in you skipped over it. You didn't. You don't actually miss it. Okay. No, because you shouldn't.
No, missed past tense, which is very.
jQuery is still wonderful. It's just that
it's essential. Yeah.
Dealing with all that updating of the different bits of the page based on whatever came back from the server is just.
Right. So now we have React, and you just tell it what you want to be in the page. Elm is the same way. Even more so. Yeah. So this component is rendered as. This component is rendered as a div with hello world in it.
Sweet.
And this nonsense. And here's our unordered list of items.
And then you got your essay form thing.
Oh, an unordered list actually is a component here.
Oh, yeah.
Because UL would be the, Yeah, so unordered list is over here.
Oh, you got your own unordered list? Doohickey.
Oh, I copied that from somewhere. I think it was probably in Jen's starter. I wouldn't call it mine. But anyway, It has so it maps the items across a function that turns each one into a list item. React really wants you to have a key on things. I think that helps it with the what am I changing.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Yeah.
So it knows what
because otherwise, how would you know what thing to bind it to?
Yeah. Here's just a number or whatever. And then it puts this curly brace inside JSX. Once you stick that less than thinger in there and you go into I'm writing HTML in my JavaScript, then to get back into JavaScript you use curly, open
Just
curly.
A single open curly.
Yeah, which gets confusing, and Amy taught me this, which was helpful, of when you're putting an object in, you wind up with double curlies, and it really means go into JavaScript, now start an object, which is confusing.
This is actually super familiar from PHP. It's just prettier than PHP. That's all. That's the only difference.
There you go.
Yeah, so
it does come out of Facebook.
HTML.
They write PHP.
Yeah, HTML, then
no
escape into this, and then unescape, and then reescape. Yeah, it's super familiar from PHP.
It's a hybrid language, and I really want to write a parser that understands that and flips back and forth between grammars. Anyway, yeah, so we're in JavaScript. Bam, we're in JSX. Oh, we're in JavaScript. Blah, blah, blah. Oop. Oh, I just did something weird. Command Z.
Careful.
Bam, we're in JSX. Oh, nope, JavaScript again. Up JSX. Oh, nope, JavaScript again. JSX. JSX, and then when that one closes, then that closes
semicolon.
this. Well, see how the list item, we close the list item, bam, we're in JavaScript again. Close curly, we're in JSX again.
Wait, what? Are you sure?
No.
No, we're not. Because
that's a function. Okay, no, we're in JavaScript again. Close the function brace. Close that. This close curly is putting us back into JSX.
Now we're in JSX.
Obviously. And in a hybrid language format, I would be like, okay, we're in JavaScript. That's fine. Open curly means we're in JavaScript, like a different layer, right? Mm-hmm. So we're at JavaScript depth 1, JavaScript depth 2, JavaScript depth 1, JavaScript depth 2, JSX, JavaScript depth 4,
right?
JavaScript depth 5, JSX, JavaScript depth
6,
7. If you're, I'm counting the JSX as a depth.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, JavaScript depth. So then JSX depth 6. Oh, JavaScript depth 7 again. JSX depth 6. And then we exit JSX and we're JavaScript depth 5. JavaScript depth 4. JSX is at depth 3. And then when we exit the UL, we're back in JavaScript depth 2. And then there's a closed curly somewhere. That's this. Right. And then we're at JavaScript depth 1 and we set the export. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's very familiar. It's less I guess verbose is one way of putting it. I was looking for a different word. It's less cumbersome, there we go, than PHP, but also less explicit than PHP. But it's the same basic idea, this sort of hopping in and out of the preprocessor language versus the actual markup.
Although you still, you're right. It's less explicit because this curly brace, I think that's actually doing parameter deconstruction.
I think you're right. I don't think that's.
This is a block. This is a JavaScript code block. Yeah. That's fine. But this is transferring to JavaScript from.
That's jumping into JavaScript from JSX.
JSX, but it's confusing that curly brace can open a block or an object. And in this case, let's look at the call to unordered list.
Well, okay, but
I think
you know
this
what
is
it
the
says
props.
to me is that it.
This is a component that's a function, not a class, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. I was noticing that, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the first argument. Oh yeah, look, takes an array prop. Array
prop items. I'm guessing that it's
an
like items
prop.
equals.
Okay.
Items colon.
It takes a prop, which is an element of an object, which is the first argument to the function. So the first argument to the function is props.
Right. So in other words, it would be like. Wait, props plural? I mean, it's So it takes. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Props. And then some.
You're wrong here.
I'm wrong here. Okay, tell me.
Well, either that or you're using a different syntax than I expected. I would expect param props object of type items array.
Items. Yeah. Right. Items. Sorry.
Which I think is confusing.
That was a total brain fart.
I don't know. It probably wouldn't take state.
What? So this what is that syntax that you're using there for the documentation?
JavaDoc, probably.
JavaDoc. Okay.
Or types or TSDoc.
Which I guess
is probably derived from
JavaDoc.
C#, which is probably derived from JavaDoc.
Okay.
Yeah, but this, to be more clear, we would have a parameter
props.
named props, I'm guessing, and then items equals props.items.
Yeah.
I think.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, let's, and then you have to say like var, I can do const. Does that work?
Yes. Good call.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
So
it's deconstruction.
Yeah. So that items was actually sneaky parameter deconstruction. Because if we look at what called that, it was in Hello World.
Oh, sweet.
And here is it passing
items
props.
Equals.
So like here you've got like what looks like what pretends to be an HTML element, but it's really a component. And the
keys or the properties become
attributes. Attributes.
Yeah.
The attributes
Attribute
become props, which are passed
objects.
into the constructor or the function. Objects.
Yeah, attributes become object properties.
Yeah, and this .state.depths is this empty array until it gets set to this.
Neat.
Yeah. So, one thing that we could do. So, for instance, we could do. There's I'm not gonna get. There's some new thing where I can get keys and values out of object. So entries is going to give me, whoops. If I say object.entries.map, and then I should be able to get key value, and then I should be able to say, make a string key plus, and then at maybe, and then we'll give it the version. So I've just mapped it to a string, so I'm still getting an array of strings. Oh, that didn't work. Let's see how we debug that. No, I didn't want to search the Mac. Thank you. Type errors, object.entries.map. Oh, look. Entries. Right.
Oh, yeah, that would help.
Yeah, I've got to call entries. Still didn't work.
Can I convert undefined or null to object at function.entries? Fix then data.
Oh, I forgot to tell it what I want the entries of. Data.
Oh, right. That would help.
Ah!
Oh, cool.
What did you put there? A comma? You're so weird. That was supposed to be a... No, I put an at.
So that's coming in from beforehand.
What the fuck? I wanted K at V. Oh, that's not what I'm getting. I'm actually getting
versions with them.
I'm getting key value. We'll put a colon and a space. Oh man, did I screw it up? Or is it just being slow? I got the data.
Oh, so is it like automatically
I
concatenating
didn't want to debug point there. Why did you put that red thing there?
Red
Ooh,
line.
logs, error. Oh, okay.
You got a parsing thing.
Parsing error. Maybe that's not valid JavaScript. I'm trying to do deconstruction there.
Yeah, I don't know my JavaScript deconstruction.
Also, I'm missing a quote there.
That would help.
Yeah, gotta man those red squigglies. They're subtle but important. Ah! Okay.
Oh, cool.
So actually, entries is producing key value arrays. Map gets 2 arguments. I think it might actually be up to 3. The first of which is the thing, which happens to be the array. So I've got to deconstruct it. This is so much easier in TypeScript.
Yeah.
Where it tells you what the fuck things are.
I feel like we should just like segue into you teaching me TypeScript.
Oh, yeah, we could teach you TypeScript. But that's not what we're doing now.
No.
Right now you're learning Glitch, Node, React, JavaScript, and Express.
That's not too much at once, right?
And all this is our tiny... Okay, so we have this app. Okay, so now we've seen how to change this. And I showed you fetch and actually getting something from the server. And then essay form, which I copied off of somebody's... Oh, thank you, Austin Lyons. I just wanted a form that would like submit a text input. And then I send something back. I don't know what I'm doing with it there, but this turned into my tree parser app. Right. I was aiming for my tree parser, and that's why it says like whatever. But the point is, it does a post.
You were looking for...
I wonder why I can't type in there.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's not intentional.
But you were looking for a way to post back to the Express server, which is not in the off-the-shelf glitch template.
And so I had stuff like the JSON. If we go back to server, we see here's our /dependencies. And this is just sending back straight out package.json. See, this requires just read in the JSON as a JavaScript object.
Mm-hmm.
So it just pulls the dependencies right out of that JavaScript object.
And this is kind of a little bit of like self-reflection here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am really big on apps that tell you about themselves.
Yes.
That's one of my obsessions at the moment.
Yes.
Tell me why you did that. Well, here are my dependencies.
The strange loopier you can make your app, the more fun it is.
Oh. That's really crucial.
That's why small talk is like the
and
best.
By strange loopy, we mean not self-aware in a conscious sense.
But like able to reflect up from lower levels of not just lower levels of abstraction, but like able to do things like reflect from the development side of things to the production side of things.
Has
like,
an operator interface.
Yeah, like not.
Yeah, because this is operator interface right here. This helps the person writing and operating the app.
Right.
And we build it right into the app. And I think that's one of the crucial things that DevOps is important for. When you get those two people to be the same, you build things and then make it easier to understand and debug your app.
One of the first, I remember like this is like one of the most basic examples of that I remember ever doing, but it was like, let's put the current version control revision in the page.
Like the get info. Yeah, or like at the health endpoint. People do that in the health endpoint now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, the what endpoint?
Health/health.
What's /health? I mean, I'm guessing already what it is, but I want you to tell me.
Yo, how you doing?
Like, are you up?
Yeah.
Are you
And
operating?
often a health endpoint, you'll have it check its database connections and tell you its whether it's able to connect to its dependencies.
What a great idea.
Very important in any service these days. And yeah, it's totally like you build in just enough self-awareness for it to be able to tell you. And it's like when your baby reaches that point where it can do more than cry. It
can actually start to say like, I am hungry.
Wet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like when you teach your baby sign language before they can talk. Yeah. It is. I should tweet that.
Mm-hmm.
Just enough communication, They don't have to be able to solve their own problems.
Right, but they need to be able to just sort of...
What the fuck is wrong with them?
Or at least, like, what am I feeling?
Yeah, because there's like hungry, cold, hot, wet, doomed.
Doomed.
It's babies. Or tired. Tired is another one. But doomed is just, I don't even know why I'm crying, but I see that I'm crying and it must be bad, so I'm going to cry some more.
Right.
Right? And that was important for me as a parent to recognize, okay, I've done everything I can. I'm singing to you, so you're safe. You have an opportunity to sleep. You're not cold. You're not hot. You're not hungry. Mm-hmm. You're not wet. You're just doomed. And then it wasn't my fault anymore.
Right.
Made it a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't make it fun carrying the doomed baby around trying to get him to go the fuck to sleep because that's usually what they really needed.
Rocking. Yeah. Hours of rocking.
Yeah, but at least I'm not being like, I'm a terrible mother, my baby is crying. No, they're just doomed.
Yep. Just watch 30 Rock with me, kid. Eventually you'll go to sleep.
Rocking the baby to 30 Rock. Okay. There's our dependencies. Anyway, somewhere... Oh, and here we actually do the post. I don't know why it wouldn't let us... It's bugging me now that, like, I want to type in there.
Well, okay, let's... Well, hang on.
Okay.
Inspectotron. What am I looking for? I'm looking for...
We have a text area. It's usually got a value property. Oh, why does it have stuff in it?
Says do. No, that's boring. Wait, what's that do? Never mind.
Important questions to ask. Really, really important.
I'm looking for, like, there are actually some CSS properties that say this text area
try the React thing.
Oh, well, there's an on change. What if the on change is broken?
There's its value. We're passing it a value, which says something. What's in there? Oh, no, that's a proto. What does that accomplish? Name, bound, handle, chain.
I'm imagining
Just
that
open that and
if
see
there's a
all of
problem with the handle change.
Sometimes it shows you JavaScript, which I really enjoy.
Apply. Type account.
Anyway. JavaScript. But if it's a function...
no, this is on the client
that was
side.
in essay form.
This problem is the client side.
Yeah, so essay form, text area.
Like
value is this .state.code.
Right. But
on submit, handle submit. And essay was
what's
submitted.
in the styles?
Ooh, do we get that?
Show me the styles for a second.
You want the styles?
I just want to see if it's locked. If it's like... Because there's actually a style for whether... As I recall, there's a style for whether you're allowed to edit this.
Oh, okay.
So I just want to... I don't think that's the problem, right. But I want to rule it out.
But that's part of, like, experience.
Right. I don't see anything suggesting, no, you can't edit this.
Okay, so the do things
and
wrong
the default
flag
as
is
far
not
as
turned on.
Yeah, exactly.
A big part of experience is learn the do things right flag and the do things wrong flags.
The switch, this magic and more magic switch should always be in the more magic position. I don't see anything saying no, you can't edit this. At least in the style.css.
So we didn't put the fuck you in there.
Where's the back? Where were we at? No, essay form. Okay. On submit, this handle submit. Like my working theory at this point is that if the on submit, or no, not on submit, if the on change doesn't work quite right, then that could cause problems with changing.
Agreed, because it needs to change the state.code.
Yes.
So does it change the state.code? Data equals code this state. So
this dot on change.
Oh, do we get this console.log? I always want to check for those.
Let's wait.
Yeah.
Over here.
If we command tick, we'll get to this window and we can click to the console. That was you. There was an essay with submitted class foo. So at some point we pushed submit and we got that. Or on change. Or we tried to change it and we got that. Okay, so we got class foo, but it didn't actually change.
I'm trying to see this thing.
So this is a different window, and it's just on top of it.
Oh.
Oops.
Do a thing. I want to see the inspect while you're typing. Or the console while you're typing.
If we put it in, then we'll be able to scroll this.
I'm glad you understand computers.
Yeah, so like,
Ooh, I want to try a thing now.
Yay. Push submit. Did we get the...
I don't care about submit. I want to figure out on change first. So on change...
Oh, you're right. I was thinking handle
change.
Submit, and I meant to be looking at handle change.
Where the fuck is handle change? Oh, there it is.
There it
is.
Oh, that looks... Wait. That... Good. Event to target top value.
I just want to see...
Great.
If this does anything?
Great.
Wait, did that actually automatically reload?
Yeah.
Neat. Yes. Yay. Okay, so at least we're triggered.
That 8, see that 8 right there? That means there were 8 of the same message.
Yes, watch this.
Yeah, that totally confuses me.
I love that.
Yes, it makes sense. Once I know what it is, then it's fine.
That's glorious.
Until then, I was like, why is there only one?
Yeah, I can see it. No, yeah. Okay, so that, like, I understood. So you know what it was? I saw it incrementing as I would type the keys.
Oh, look. Value equals this .state.code.
That's just the initial value.
Value, set state value. TypeScript would tell you that value is not value.
Are you sure that's going to...
This needs to match this.
Wait, is it gonna is this that JS? Is this that React magic where it's like bound to that? Is it bound to that?
Well, I mean, when you do set state, that state does stuff to this .state.
Okay, so it's actually binding. Like.
Yeah.
So like this, I'm sorry, nobody can see what I'm pointing at. Okay, So like this is not just a one-time, but this is actually a data binding?
Yeah.
It's the re-render.
Side effecting sense. Oh. Yeah, it's just that every time it renders it, it's going to
take that piece of state. Yeah. So what you just did in theory should actually make something maybe better.
Ooh, it got a space. Ooh, it got an H. Yay! Yay! I should probably save that in the real one. I mean, in the app that we remixed.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's definitely a bug.
That is a bug.
Yeah. Okay, so now that works.
Yeah, I was right about something.
The hardest part of learning is unlearning. Speaking of which, did my kids get out of school early? Nope. They should be on the bus in an hour and a half. Okay. But the snow is looking beautiful.
It is. It's really coming down. Yep. Sorry, folks. We don't have a snow cam.
Yeah. If we're lucky, your flight will be canceled tomorrow. And we'll do this again. Okay. So anyway, that's how the fetch with method of post is doing the post. And here's some more spell. That's important. And here's another spell that's important. This is shit that I learned the hard way.
Oh, JSON.stringify.
You gotta JSON.stringify. Make sure it's not circular. Because if it's circular, you're just fucked. And it's just gonna throw an exception.
What do you mean by
Everything's
circular?
gonna die. Oh, if you have references in the object to higher parts of the object. So then it goes to print this, and this refers to this, and so it goes to print that.
It's not smart?
No, it's not smart. There are libraries for that.
Lame.
Lame is ableist, Avdi.
You're right, actually. I'm actually trying to get out of that habit. Somebody pointed that out to me recently. Thank you for reminding me.
I guess we did, yeah, whatever. We try to find a more colorful vocabulary than we grew up with. I struggle with that one too. Right. Anyway, so that's working, and this is how you do a post. So the idea being, if someone enters their top 10 list, we can post it to the server and have it appear in someone else's.
What? Yes.
Your top 3, right?
Sorry, we finally popped the stack back to what you were talking about. Or what we were talking about at the beginning.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Right, so now you know your way around the sample app, which has a form. It's not a very good form, but it's a form.
It's a form.
And it posts to the server, and then it displays stuff that the server received.
Yes.
It's
pretty neat. Also, wow, it took us a long time to figure that out.
Hey, we fixed a bug.
We fixed a bug.
And we added a feature.
Yes, we did. Okay, so...
Shall we take a break?
Maybe we should.
I think it's time